We are sitting down here with Mr. Academic, we call him, the coach of the year in the New England division. His first year in the New England division, just goes out there and beats them all. Incredible season, a third place overall finish in the division. The Utica Junior Comets, the host of the Premier and Elite Nationals for the second year in a row as well. Louis Ejikate, Coach Lou, Mr. Academic, whatever we call you. I'm calling you here draft day. Talk to us about the draft. Talk to us about Utica. What are you guys feeling like right now?
Yeah, the draft's always an exciting time, with having to draft certainly young prospects. This year with the list being where it's at and it's smaller than it has been in the past, and I think it's a good thing. It makes your draft selections that much more important, I think. And I would say certainly looking for more guys that are ready now than in the future. Of course, if you're going to draft some 08s, it's probably, they might be a year or two away, but the 07s, like, you're drafting them to play for you because your slots are so limited at this point. So
now, Coach, the addition of phase 2 here, a new look to the draft this season, a 4-round phase 2 to draft 04 to 06 birth years. Kind of talk about the preparation that goes into drafting a whole different age range, how you're kind of looking at this new addition to the draft. Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Where are we at?
Yeah, it's certainly interesting. It came about pretty quickly here, and it's a little bit of scramble mode on how to approach it. But, I'm kind of using, our organization is kind of using it as additional tenders, if you will, just because it's that age group and it's guys that, again, that you think can kind of play for you right away. That's how I'm approaching it. It's, these are guys, if I'm drafting someone in that age group, it's with intent of them to play for our team this year.
Now, when you go into a draft, when you go through 07 and 08s or 04 to 06s, what is it you look for in a player? What is it, if I'm a player playing at home right now who might be in the 09 birth range, where I'm going to be in this draft next season in the NCDC? What do I have to do to get into the eyes of Louis Ejikate, of Coach Ejikate here, and get a chance to play for the Utica Junior Comets in the NCDC?
Yeah, I think that especially this past season and what we've been trying to build and showcase is that we play with a lot of pace and we play on our toes, fast and heavy. We like to put teams on their heels. We're not a team that's going to sit back. We're a team that's going to try to take it to you. And if you can handle that and push back against us, then so be it. But we're going to give you everything we have. And that's kind of how we like our players to be. Like our captain this year, Payne Gatewood, was, a perfect example of that, of a guy who, does all the things. He's leading scorer on our team. He's top faceoff guy on our team. He defends, he penalty kills. Like you want that well-rounded player, and not everybody's going to be that. Of course, you need a little bit of everything. But Payne Gatewood was kind of the guy that we built around and are going to continue to kind of build around, especially offensively, with that mindset of pushing the pace.
Now, Coach, you talk about building the roster. You talk about drafting players. You talk about the 04 to 06, trying to almost use it as extra tenders. There's got to be other ways to play with the Utica Junior Comets. Talk about the summer season, the recruiting season, and tell these players and families how they can get on the list of the Utica Junior Comets if they're not drafted today. Yeah,
there's no question. And, we only have one camp this year. We're doing a main camp in July. I've been telling people, and I think it's true, like, I would think 85% of our roster is coming from that camp because it's our only camp. And, we're going to have our returners there, our tenders, these draft picks, and certainly some free agents. And when it comes to being a free agent, we've had a lot of success with free agents in the past. Last year, one of our defensive captains and forward captains, Cam Lowe on the back end and Seth Ferguson up front, were both free agents 2 years ago that made our team out of main camp, really not knowing much about them. And both those guys became 2-year players for us, or going to school, and wore letters for us. So the free agency is certainly something. You can't find guys. There's guys that are going to be hidden from you. There's guys you're not going to know about. You can't watch everybody. Video only does so much. I don't like video. I don't like video. I like to see guys in person. I think there's a lot of tells there. You can see the kid's mannerisms, how he skates, how he carries himself on and off the ice at your camp. It's just, in video, you're seeing a lot of highlights generally. If you're watching a game, the feed might not be the greatest. And even if it is, it's hard to gauge kind of pace of play and how they might fit into your system. You can only get so much information from video. So in person, I'm a big believer in seeing guys in person, and, even the guys we draft in tender and, need to come to camp and earn a spot. It's not given. You got to take it.
Now, how do I sign up for main camp? How do I find out about main camp? How do I reach?
Yeah.
What's the process there for a player?
Yeah, a lot of guys we've been reaching out to, a lot of guys that were certainly interested in. And at the same time, like, again, like Cam Lowe, I mentioned, like he signed up on his own for camp. Like he was a guy who signed up on his own for camp and made a roster. So if guys want to sign up for a camp, it's easy to find on our website, and the main camp link is right there. And we certainly welcome guys who want to be there, and we'll be continually looking. And if teams are interested in Utica and the facility we have and the program we're building, they should reach out to me, and you can find my email on the website and register on the website as well for main camp.
Coach of the year last year. I got to imagine the goal this season in Utica is to be team of the year and raise a cup at the end of the season. What's a victory for the boys in Utica this season?
Yeah, I think we took a huge step this year. We did a really good job of continuing to build the program, but like you said, the goal is to win. We lost in the first round, but we lost to South Shore, who won it all, and I thought we gave them a good series, even though it was short lived. With both games were tied going to third, an overtime game, shootout goal against, or penalty shot, I should say, in a 1-1 game is crazy.
Yep.
But hats off to South Shore for a great year, and that's and a great team. Holsky did a great job. That there was a ton of talent on that team, and from top to bottom, and that's what we're trying to create here. Just a hardworking team that can compete for a championship every year, and there's no question that's the goal moving forward, is to take a step in the division and take a step in playoffs and find ourselves in that championship series.
That's Mr. Academic, your New England Coach of the Year. The Utica Junior Comets, you can catch all their draft picks at ncdcjrhockey.com. But for now, let's throw it back to myself and Lucas Jones live on the NCDC Draft Show, Phase 1 and Phase 2 underway.